In today's rapidly changing regulatory environment, industry-specific compliance services is definitely the need of the hour. Leaders of Tomorrow was in Kolkata as part of a 20-city pan-India roadshow that we do, and Pooja Jain spoke with Taxmantra. Listen in to what they had to say.
Filing one's taxes has been described as a process that's plagued with pain points, misinformation, a process that's highly manual. So that said, how can we strike a better balance between tax and technology?
Most of the Indian tax laws are very grandfathered in that sense that they are still not ready for new business models, emerging companies, and that's where small businesses, especially from tier 2, tier 3 cities, wherein they don't have enough help locally, they need to have that advisory wherein they get a lot of option as to what is right and what is wrong. And I think that's where Taxmantra comes in terms of the services which we provide. And we feel that with technology we can actually help to the last business which is there in irrespective of where that business is located, and that's how we would help businesses. When we see that the business owner would need hand holding in terms of what is right and what is wrong in that business, and with technology we brought in, for example, we brought in cloud CFO services wherein they get complete services under one roof in terms of the business advisory, in terms of compliances, in terms of if they need to be ready for investment fundraise, because it's very difficult for small and medium-sized businesses to have in-house CFO, and it's very difficult to have because there would be corporate law compliances, there would be labor compliances, there would be direct tax, there would be other taxation compliances. To have everyone in-house, to have a team in-house initially. So that's where we come in and we say that, okay, fine, we are your cloud CFO, we are there for you, we are flexible in terms of how we work, and we will help you, we will help you in as a partner in building your business. And that's where I feel technology helps, because technology helps us as Taxmantra to go to that last business, irrespective of where they are located.
The gist that I'm getting is that Taxmantra is focused on a lot more than just taxes. So what are the specific services that you offer and the problems you're looking to eradicate?
Yeah, so when you start a business, you need to know a lot of things. For instance, with respect to business model, is it in line with the laws in that country wherein you want to operate? In terms of what are the registrations you require, what are the compliances you need to do once you are registered. So at Taxmantra, from day one, our idea was to bring all the services under one roof, wherein a business owner doesn't need to go to different consultant in terms of setting up, in terms of running the businesses, in terms of if they want to actually raise funds after a point of time, or they want to scale in other geographies, or they want to scale in other countries. So that's where I think Taxmantra plays a big role, wherein they can just talk to us, and they have just one connect, and that is Taxmantra, wherein they can come to us and get all the help. I think that's the biggest point. The second point is with technology also coming in, we do help small businesses remotely, and they really don't need to hire a lot of in-house team members, wherein all the compliances can be taken care of by us. For example, we started cloud CFO services, wherein for all the functions, be it HR, be it labor laws, be it corporate law, taxation, you can actually hire Taxmantra as your remote cloud CFO, wherein all the services would be done by the team at Taxmantra. In addition to cloud CFO, we also do corporate law services. We help ESOP implementation services. We help you in setting up businesses. We also help you in terms of GST compliances. We did a lot of GST impact series, wherein we help businesses to understand to the last mile what will be the impact of GST on their business. So I think if you want to summarize, Taxmantra is a global 360-degree tax and legal firm, wherein you do not have to think whether this service will be provided by Taxmantra or not. It will be provided by Taxmantra, and you don't need to actually have to have more than one consultant.
Now, you've mentioned raising funds. Does partnering with Taxmantra help a company become more investor friendly? And if you could cite some examples.
Yeah, so one thing which we realized over a period of time, where we have already helped more than 100 million fundraise in the Indian startup ecosystem, is that businesses are not ready with their compliances, and I feel that SMEs and small businesses should have a system from day one in terms of compliance hygiene, in terms of reporting, and they should not wait for the due diligence reports wherein the investor would say that these are the things wherein your startup has not complied with. So I think that's where we come in. We help the startup to do self due diligence. We prepare the startup for fundraise. So the due diligence process becomes very smooth, because all the factors, there are around 38 points wherein we help them. So all those factors are covered in before they actually go and talk to investors. So once they talk to the investors, there is no problem from a legal perspective. So I think that's the biggest thing. Second thing is that we also help them in reviewing the agreements, in helping them to understand the agreements, the SHAs, the other things in terms of investments. We also help them to file all the forms, because we also help investors also in terms of giving them the quarterly and monthly reporting to understand the right signals and to understand where that startup is heading. So that is very important from an investor's perspective, because they also need to know once they have invested, especially for an angel investor, to know where that startup is heading.
Depending on where companies are in their growth cycle, some are more proactive when it comes to tax and compliance law, and others are, of course, more reactive. How does the guidance you offer differ accordingly?
We at Taxmantra, we always suggest our clients to be prepared for the compliances, be prepared for the new laws. You would have seen that the taxation scenario in the country has become so dynamic in terms of the changes which has been brought in the last 15 months. So you have to be prepared, you have to have a system and process to do compliances. And we always suggest that you should have right kind of advisor who can give you broad perspective about what's happening in the compliance regime and how that will impact your business from a very specific point of view. To my thought process, to businesses who are reactive, I have seen them that they ultimately end up paying penalties, because when all the compliances have gone online and you do not have an option to go back and fix something, you would end up paying penalties. So rather than that, you should have right kind of advisors. You should have someone who can give you options, who can give you broader perspective about the business model, about the compliances, how that can specifically impact your business. They can help you in that, and also you have a system and they can help you to set up the processes so that the compliances can automate, can happen automatically, and you can focus as a business owner, you can focus on your business and grow. So I think that's my suggestion to business owner. I don't think now you have an option where you can have a reactive attitude to compliances. You have to be part of the compliance regime which is there now.
The reality is that many Indian tax laws are unfortunately grandfathered. What sort of challenge does that pose to your business?
You rightly said that most of the tax laws are grandfathered, and there is no ready answers to the new business models, emerging business models, and that's where we come in, because we at Taxmantra, we understand technology and we understand the business angle of that technology, and that's where when businesses come to us, we give them option. For example, if there is a particular business model which they want to register and they want to operate, we tell them whether India is perfect for them, or they should go for Singapore, or they should go for other countries to actually start that business, taking into consideration the tax scenarios in India and other things. So till the time the taxes doesn't change and become more in sync with new business model, so that's where the businesses needs to do. Taxmantra, as I said, the Taxmantra is a global tax and legal firm wherein we help businesses, and we give them global perspective. For example, just imagine a situation wherein a cloud CFO from Taxmantra would tell a young emerging business owner that what are the trends of M&A in your industry, or what kind of businesses or business model is happening in terms of other countries for your business, or what are the opportunities you have in other geographies. So that kind of value addition we bring at Taxmantra, which a normal tax and law firm, local tax firm will struggle to provide. That's where we feel that with technology bringing in with the global perspective, with all the services we provide under one roof, in terms of technology, in terms of understanding the business model, in terms of giving them options. Because business owners need options. They want to understand what are the options for a particular thing which they need to do. And that's where we come in. And I think with that, we are very hopeful, and we are very confident that we are changing the taxation landscape of India. And we would marching ahead to become a very large tax and legal firm on a global platform. And that's our vision. And in that process, we would help many small businesses, emerging businesses, because if Indian economy needs to grow and do well, it has to have 10 Flipkarts from at least 10 more cities. Then only, because people need to create big businesses from small cities, from tier 2, tier 3 cities. And that's where we help them, because we use technology. They don't need to be dependent on the local CA. They can talk to us. They can get all the services from us, respective of where they operate from. So that's, I think that is a very big advantage which we have. From day one, we at Taxmantra thought very different. We never wanted to create this as a local firm. We wanted to have a global perspective. We wanted to create that blend between technology and taxation. How do we use processes? How do we automate those processes? We give a lot of information wherein the business owner feels that he is in complete control of the compliances. On the dashboard, he can see that these are the compliances which have been undertaken. Because as a business owner, you need the information, you need the data. If you have the data, you can take the right call on businesses. So that's where we are adding value, and that's how we're going to scale and become big.
That's our show tonight. If you have any feedback for us, or you're interested in being featured here on the show, you can always write in to us at leadersoftomorrow@timesgroup.com. On social media, tweet at me at Sunanda_J, or LOT_ET now is our official Twitter handle. On Facebook, reach us at Leaders of Tomorrow on ET Now.